Before you get into card manipulation, it's important to talk about exercising your fingers, getting your hands and fingers ready for the manipulation. Here are some basic exercises you guys can do. Make a fist with your right hand. Place your fingers around your fist and push. Do that with each set of fingers. That will loosen your joints and fingers of your hands. Do the other hand. Push. Also, you can do this one. Place your palms together and apply pressure with your fingers. Move to the left, hold for a few seconds, then push to the right. These exercises will really help you for your card manipulation. How to break in your cards. The easiest way to break in the cards are to work them in with your hands. Take the deck out and bend the cards back. Don't put any creases in the cards, just bend them back a little bit. Now push forward. This takes away the stiffness from the cards. Long way. And now the other way. I like to shuffle the deck a few times. To break in the cards. Riffle the deck. And now you've taken the stiffness out of the cards. Another additional tip for breaking in your cards, if you'd like, take a metal-edged ruler. And this is tedious, but every card, you pull the ruler against the card, half of it, and the other half. Do the back. You can do it diagonally as well. You can also place a card down on a hard surface, makes it a little bit easier. This makes a card much more pliable and also takes off some of the finish, so the cards won't be too slippery. Now, after you do the entire deck, the cards are going to be twice as high and all warped, so put them underneath a hard or heavy book or between two pieces of wood and clamp them together. Breaking in your cards is very important when doing card manipulation. Use some card fanning powder and also this technique to break in your cards. Powdering the cards. It's very important to powder your cards to prevent them from sticking and bunching up during production sequences or fanning the cards. I use card powder, and the way I do it is by raising the front and backs of the cards. Just the front card and the back card. Then take my card powder and sprinkle a good amount along the top of the deck, the edge of the deck. I then rub the powder in with my fingers into the edges. Now split the deck in half. Twist the top half and faro shuffle the cards together. This will push the powder along the cards to coat them nice and evenly. After you do that, give it a few riffle shuffles. To help distribute the powder throughout the cards. This is a nice, quick way of powdering your cards, getting them ready. I then hit the deck, slap out any excess powder. And now your cards are ready to go. An additional note, unscented baby powder works also well for powdering your cards. I also powder my hands. The reason I do this, when I perform, I usually have some sweaty hands, usually a little bit of nervousness and excitement before the show. This helps dry out my hands. Let's rub the powder on. It absorbs the sweat, and your hands are nice and dry and ready to go. Nice and simple. The basic fans and flourishes. First, the thumb fan. The thumb fan's very easy. Start out with the cards in your hand, thumb along the deck, about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch up the deck. You're going to use your middle finger and thumb and grab the tops of the cards. You're going to pull the cards and push them in a semicircle in your hand, using your thumb as a pivot point. Do it again. The more you practice this, the better you'll get at evenly distributing the cards in the fan. If you hold the cards farther up in your hand, you'll get a bit of a bigger fan. Down in your hand, you'll get a smaller fan. The basic thumb fan. The pressure fan. This is a very pretty flourish to do. And it's different than the thumb fan. You actually put pressure on the cards as you're fanning them. The deck is held with the fingertips and the thumb at the back. You're going to actually squeeze the cards as you fan. The deck is held pretty much the same position as a thumb fan, except for this hand's on top. Apply pressure, squeezing the cards out into a nice even fan. Again, apply pressure and squeeze. Nice smooth movement of the cards, get a nice fan. The pressure fan. The one-handed fan in both hands. I riffle the cards and rotate them into my left hand, splitting the pack in half. Half in the left, half in the right. I then move my index finger and pinky finger along the edges of the deck. The thumb will come behind and spread the cards along with the fingers. The action is very simple of spreading the cards. You're just spreading your fingers with your thumb, placing cards in that position and spreading. Work on getting the fans nice and even. And you can do a one-handed fan in both hands. The one-handed fan. The S fan. The S fan's taking the one-handed fans, putting them together to create an S-shaped pattern. Let's look at that. It's a little bit more character to this fan. It's a nice flourish for the stage. Simply do a one-handed fan in each hand. Then bring up the cards to meet. My fingers clip the other fan in my hand, having the S-shaped pattern. You can show front and back. You can also separate and just riffle the cards together. A little bit of sound. Do your S fan, close, and that's the beautiful S fan. The sharp one-handed fan. This is a different looking fan than the one-handed fan. Let's take a look at it. Your regular one-handed fan, of course, is held like this. Turn the cards vertically. Pinky at the bottom, index finger at the top. Do the same spreading motion with your hand. The fan's a little bit sharper since the cards are more vertical in your hand. Again, left hand this time. You can also do this in each hand to do a sharp S fan. The sharp one-handed fan and S fan. Have fun. The classic Charlier cut. This is a nice one-handed cut. I hold the deck at the tips of my fingers, pretty high up in my hand. There's a lot of room down here. My thumb will apply some pressure and push up a block of cards, about half. Index finger comes down, pushes this block past the top block of cards. Once it clears, the top half drops back on top. Again. It's important you have the cards high in your hand. If they're too low, you won't have any clearance for your thumb or the cards. The Charlier cut. Card springing. This is a move you can either do fast or slow. It's really up to you. You use the same technique of applying pressure to the cards, just like the pressure fan. However, with this, you actually let go of the cards and release them. I hold my left hand with my fingers spread open to catch the cards as I spring them. Keep applying pressure until a few cards shoot off your fingertips. When first learning this, start with your hands close. As you gain more confidence, spread your hands farther apart and do it a little bit faster. You can also shoot the cards towards your body. Instead of releasing them off of your fingers in the front, release them off your thumb in the back. In this instance, hold your hand against your body to help catch the cards. Again, against your body. With confidence and practice, you can make this little flourish a great flourish. The springing the cards. Cards from the mouth. This is an excellent flourish in any routine. What you have to do is palm cards in your hand. Do a straight palm, nothing funny about it. I have about 15 cards in my hand. You don't want to use too many, about 10 to 15 is perfect. And they're just palmed. Applying some pressure, the cards will not go anywhere. My hand's down at my sides naturally. I reach out to pick something out of the air and toss it in my mouth. I then insert the cards directly into my mouth. My right hand helps guide the cards in from palm position. Then, while they're in my mouth, I just do an S fan. I'm just doing this action with the cards. I'll show you that again. Just spreading the cards, thumb and fingers. In real time, cards are palmed. I usually like leaving a card in my mouth at the end. It makes for a great effect. Cards from the mouth. Some more sleights, riffle palming. Riffle palming is a very important technique with card manipulation. It helps you gain a stack of cards in your hand secretly for later production. To do this, hold the deck between your hand, fingers, and thumb on top. You're actually going to riffle the cards with your thumb, like this. Your palm will come up and riffle them into your palm. Apply pressure and palm those cards off of the deck. This way, you can get any amount of cards in your hand that you want. If you want half the deck or quarter of the deck, or just even a couple cards, you can do that. This entire motion is covered by your body swinging from one side to the other. You can show here, and bring the deck up between your thumb and index finger. The cards are now palmed. Again, slower. Riffle palm. Palm those cards. Bring the deck up. Pinch it between your thumb and index finger. You now have a secret stash of cards. Riffle palming, a very important sleight in card manipulation. The back palm vanish, a single card vanish. The back palm is a very important sleight. We'll learn with one card for now. The back palm places the card in the back of the hand. Fingers are bent in, Index and pinky are on the edges of the card. The card then gets pinched. Fingers extend for now your back palmed card. Be careful of your edges showing. If you have edges showing like this, reposition the card in your hand. Pinch, rotate. The back palm. Now let's take this back palm sleight and make it into real magic by vanishing a playing card. You're going to be doing the back palm, but you do it as you're tossing the card in the air. The motion of back palming it is covered by your hand moving down and then up. Real time. Slowing it down. Fingers bend in. Index and pinky pinch. Down. Fingers extend out as you toss up. The back palm vanish. Back palm vanish, number 2. Hold the card, toss it in the air, and it vanishes. This makes the effect of vanishing a card a little bit different. Instead of holding the card this way, the long way, hold it vertically. Fingers bend in, clips with the index and pinky as the fingers extend. Now with this method, you will have more cards showing through the fingers. So it's important that you have the card in the precise location. This gives a different look to the vanish because you're not rotating the card or anything in your hand. You simply have it nice and vertical, and you toss it up, and it's gone. Again. This motion is covered again by tossing your arm up. A different way of doing the back palm vanish. Vanishing a card into a silk handkerchief. And now the explanation. One playing card, and also a silk handkerchief. I use white because the card's white, kind of makes sense. Roll up the handkerchief with your index and middle finger, tightly rolling the silk around into a tight, compact bundle. Now when you're first starting out, you may want to use a smaller silk because you will be palming it. This is then clipped, the end of the silk with the index and middle finger, and it's finger palmed. I then take a playing card and put that right in front of the silk handkerchief. I then get ready with my index and pinky around the edges of the card. Do your back palm by pinching, rotating, as you let the silk drop. You can also let go of the silk, tossing it up in the air. The vanishing card into silk handkerchief. It's a great trick. Have fun with it. The back palm production, producing a single card from the back palm position. There's a few different variations to do this. The card's in back palm. I like crossing my fingers. Middle finger's going to bend in, pinch the card against the index finger to pop it out into position. In real time, fingers are just crossing. Back palm, producing the card. In real time, you want that snap. If you hear the card snap, that's when you know you're producing the card correctly. Now also, when producing the card, pull back your hand as you're producing it. Gives the impression you're plucking the card out of thin air. One more variation on this. Back palm the card and produce it in your hand. All you're doing here is sliding the card through your fingertips using your thumb, going over top, pulling the card down into your hand. I prefer the cross finger method, but that's the basic production of a single playing card. The front palm. The front palm is a useful utility move to hold the card. Instead of your back palm, hold the card in front of your fingers, pinched with your pinky, index finger, against your ring and middle fingers. With your hand against your body, the card is hidden. You can also produce the card from this position. That's done by inserting your thumb underneath the card and popping it up to the fingertips. Again, thumb, pivoting the card up. The front palm. The pivot move. The pivot move is a very useful move for showing both sides of your hand empty after vanishing a card. You vanish a card into back palm. Then as you turn your hand over, your thumb will clip the corner of the card. Your middle and ring finger go through and clip it as your hand turns over. The card's now in a front palm position. Reverse that move. Bend your fingers in. My thumb kicks the card up a little bit to push it back in the fingers as your hand turns over and the fingers extend. The pivot move should not be a hand-washing move. You should use it as a utility move during your routine, such as this. Now the card's front palmed. You use your body to help hide the action of the pivot. Vanish. As my body turns, my hand comes down to my side. As I half pivot towards the audience, my hand is now in front of my body with the card front palmed. I can reverse the action, an exposed view, and reproduce the card. The pivot move. Use it. It's well worth it. The beautiful Roy Benson move. And you can produce a card. The Roy Benson move was created to show both hands seemingly empty. That's really not the case. Let's check out what's happening. The card's in back palm in your right hand. Left hand lines up with the right hand. Your right hand will stay stationary as your left hand pivots down and then back up. You can move your right hand just back and forth a little bit. Don't expose over the top or the bottom. Looks like you're showing both sides of each hand. To produce the card, do your crossover finger production between your hands. Again, card's back palmed, pivot, and the production. The Roy Benson move. Use it, I'm sure you'll like it. Multiple back palm productions. The Cardini single production. And now the explanation. Going to put a bunch of cards in back palm. Start off with maybe 5, 6 cards, not too many. I bend them a little bit, just a tad, as I back palm them. The more cards you have in back palm, the more difficult it will be to hold the card securely. The action to produce the cards singly is this. Your index finger moves just a little bit out of the way for your thumb to come in and pinch. It will pull one card through your fingers. The card that appears will help hide any edges showing through your fingers. That card can be dropped, then go into the next production. Thumb pinches, slides that card through your fingers. When you do it, pull the card sharply through your fingertips, giving that snap. Now, when you do this, the cards might pop out like that. Simply take your other hand, push the cards back into back palm and start over. Pull and slide. The last card in your hand, do the crossover production. Multiple back palm productions, the Cardini single production. The unique snap production. The snap production. Now the explanation. You can have a stack of cards. You can start off small. As you get more confident, add more cards. We'll use about 5, 6 cards. They're going to be straight palmed into your hand. Faces going into your palm. Backs facing out. Your thumb is going to swivel a card up and out of your hand. The card will actually pivot against your middle finger. By applying pressure, it snaps out. The card will swivel up in a semicircle like this. Produce the card, then drop it. You can also produce it and place it in the other hand. Drop this, produce another one. Almost snapping your fingers. You should hear that sound when you're producing the card. The last one, you cannot swivel out. So I bend my middle finger in, bowing the card out and pinching it. Let it come out as I twist my fingers to display the card to the audience. The last card again, in real time. Bowing the card out, pinching, swiveling to display the card. The snap production, another great production of cards. The Ken Brook single production. Ken Brook single production is a great production to first learn. It's also similar to the snap production, like the last card I showed you. It has the same kind of action to it. Let's take a look at that now. Let's start with 5 cards. Do not use too many for this. 5, 6, 7 cards is probably enough, no more than that. Instead of being palmed with the faces towards your palm, have the faces pointing outwards, away from your hand. Your middle finger will bend in. Index and ring finger pinch. The card is bowed and popped out. The cards come out as a stack. It's important you keep the cards aligned when doing this move. The fingers pinched tightly help keep those cards aligned. I grab with my index, middle finger, and my thumb, and I'll move my middle finger back, push those cards back into palm as I peel this one off. and drop. Again. Push back into palm, peel off. The card you're peeling off is a card you just produced. Keep your hands moving. That way, in case they happen to separate, they won't be able to notice it as easily. The last card pops the card out and drop. The Kenbrook single production. And now for a card trick that really is magic. I'll go through the cards, just say stop. Right there. Take a look at that card. Don't say it out loud. Makes my job too easy. I'll shuffle your card into the pack. Still have it, right? Good. Check this out. I'm going to find your card in the air. Ooh, was that it? How about that one? No? Do you see your card anywhere in here? Please say yes sometime today. No? Oh, come on. No? No? What was your card? Was it that one? I hope so. And now the explanation. This is a cool card effect because it uses sleight of hand manipulation to devastate your audience. Check this out. Very simple. Do a Hindu force, taking off packets of cards. When they say stop, show them the bottom card, your force card. Place this half back on the bottom of the deck and square up. Now the card in their mind is on the bottom of the deck. Do an overhand shuffle and keep shuffling the cards until their card, the bottom one, gets on top. Right there's their card. Square the cards up, and you're going to riffle palm some cards into a back palm position by grabbing with your thumb and clipping the cards as your hand turns. Say, now watch, I'm going to find your card. Start doing the Cardini single production, producing cards. As you go, is this your card? They'll say no. Do you see a card you like? Keep producing cards. You can tell when you get down near the bottom few cards. With one card left, you can feel it. Second to last card, I say, come on, was that your card? They'll say no, drop it. Do a half pivot as your body moves up. Go right into their face and produce their card. And I do that. Again, their last card is right here. Half pivot. It's produced by bending and flipping the card up. An awesome card trick. Have fun with that. I know, I do. Some awesome and visual card scaling and spinning. The card spinning is done by gripping the cards like you would to do a one-handed fan. Your thumb is going to push and pivot the card up and out. It will rotate around your index finger. With enough pressure, the card will fly in the air. A little practice, you can also catch it. Again, up and out. A little cheat move you can do if you have a long thumbnail and you can't get the base of your thumb against the cards for enough pressure, be able to push that card out, use your thumbnail to your advantage by doing this. Kick the card up, giving yourself a head start. Now your thumbnail can kick the back edge of the card up and out. You can also angle the cards towards the audience and shoot them out this way. Card spinning. A little more in-depth view of the card spin. The amount of pressure you apply to the card, enough force, will allow the card to shoot up. Your thumb goes in a circle, almost a C type of motion like this. Watch. Now to kick the card up even higher, give the card a little bit of a jerk with your hand, tossing up. It gives you more height and more power for the effect. Card spinning. More card spinning from the palm position. Card spinning from the palm position. You're going to straight palm some cards. Oh, about 7-10 cards is good. Faces against your palm. Bowing the cards by bending your hand like this. Your thumb will peel back the corner of one of the cards. If you keep pulling back, the card is going to swivel up and out. Now if you kick your hand up as you do that, the card will spin up. It's rotating off of the palm and up. It has a right to left spin on the card. Get a few more cards. If you just shoot it over, it will go more directionally across your body. More of a kick up, it will go higher. A few more cards. You can actually get 2 cards to fly up as one and then split in midair. Takes some practice, but it's well worth it. Let's check that out. Instead of peeling back 1 card, you peel back 2 with your thumb. Same motion, and they split. With some practice, you can catch those cards in your hand. Card spinning from the palm position. the snap production spin. I actually came up with this move by just doing the snap production and actually doing it a little bit too hard. Let me show you what I mean. The snap production, as you learned earlier, looks like this. The cards just snap up from the palm position. Now, if you apply a little bit more pressure and kind of overdo yourself, the card will spin up and out of your hand. It's good to have about 7-10 cards. The fewer cards in your hand, you will not have enough pressure to shoot the card up in the air. Slowed down, thumb pivots the card and overdoes it. That's the move, then you release at that point. The snap production spin. Try that and have fun. The Boomerang Card by Bobby Baxter. He actually did the first part of his act around this little flourish. It's cute, let's try it out. It looks simple, but let's go into detail and see what's happening. The card is spinning away from your body just a couple feet, and then coming back. I place the card with my middle finger and my thumb. Index finger touches the corner of the card. As I toss the card, I'm pulling back as well and kicking it with my index finger, creating backspin. The more confident you are, the further you can throw the card away from your body and have it come back. Again. Practice over your bed. That way you don't pick up cards and hurt your back. The Boomerang Card. The single toss split is a cute little flourish you can add to your routine. Let's check it out. Splits into two. Simply have both cards stacked and display them as one card. Middle and ring finger on top, index finger along the top edge, the corner of the card, thumbs in the back. As I toss the cards, I cheat by pushing up with my thumb just to separate the cards ever so slightly, about 1/4 inch. As I toss and pull back, the cards will rotate and split in the air, and I can catch them one in each hand. Let's try it. Now you can also do a cool little effect by producing the one card like this. Then tossing and splitting the cards. That production is very similar to the Ken Brook single production. Finger bends in, pops that card out, and then grab the two cards as one. Do your single toss split, and you have a nice little production. The one-handed deal display and toss. This is a great way to produce a card. My hand holds some cards above my fingers at the tips. Index finger at the edge, thumb at the edge, then moves the cards down just a bit. My index finger pushes and applies pressure, flips that card out to the back. That move again. That's the one-handed deal. Now to flip the card and toss it in the air, I use my middle finger to act like a pivot point and spins the card as I toss it in the air. Can then reveal the card by turning it over. Practice with a small packet of cards first, then try it with a full deck. The one-handed display and toss